Hello, Andreas.
Hello, Nectaria.
So today we're going to be spending about an hour to review the results of your Energy Leadership Index assessment. This is not a typical coaching session. It's a debrief of your assessment results. So I'm going to be talking a bit more than a usual coaching session. We'll discuss the assessment in general, look at your results, and discuss potential developmental areas and any questions you may have. How does that sound?
That sounds like a very unique and special welcome to Say Nay to Life, Say Yes to Life for everyone. And this is going to be very interesting because it's going to be a surprise for me. I have no idea what my results are. So hit me, Doc. Am I going to live?
Okay, so to begin, let's begin with a few questions. What were you hoping to see in your assessment results?
And I suppose what I was hoping to see is which energy level am I operating from as a person, and hopefully I would like to identify if there is any areas of improvement, which I'm sure there are, but I would like to identify specifically what these areas are so I can work towards, some positive change.
And why is that important to you?
Well, it's important to me because I want to be the best possible Andreas that there is. And I like to grow and improve. So that's why it's important.
That is great to hear. So there's not a lot of people who have that awareness and want to reach that, that potential that they have. So that's great to hear. Before we look at your results, let's talk about the assessment itself.
Okay.
As individuals, we view the world through a set of filters. If you're wearing blue-colored glasses, the world looks blue. If you're wearing green-colored glasses, the world looks green. We all have these filters, and they're all based on our life experiences and the influence of the people who are around us. They form the basis of our belief system and the way we view and approach situations. In many instances, our filters help achieve success. In other aspects, they can be limiting or create tension. These filters shape the way we show up. They affect our reactions and responses to situations and people in all aspects of life. So the Energy Leadership Index assessment reveals specific filters you've developed and how they're influencing your life. It uncovers the thinking and perceptions that might be creating stress or holding you back from achieving your goals. After all, the ability to achieve success, happiness, and purpose happens when we're able to recognize and release internal challenges and blocks. So the assessment measures two elements: your energetic profile, which is your typical energy on a good day, and your energetic stress reaction, which is your reaction to a stressor. This is important because recognizing your reaction to stressors is the first step towards reducing the level of stress you experience. Both of these are indicators of your current potential to motivate and inspire yourself and others, to understand how you engage in life, and to understand your awareness of who you are and what life is all about. This is important because as people become more conscious and engaged, the fewer judgments they make, which causes their stress levels to decrease. Because instead of judging things as good or bad, they are better able to approach situations in which that raises their level of productivity, satisfaction, and fulfillment. What questions do you have so far?
I only have one question. When are we going to start talking about my ELI?
So you have to understand what exactly it is that, what the two indicators are, so you know what they mean. So we have the two indicators, as we said. So in order to understand your energetic profile and energetic stress reactions, we have to take a moment to talk about what we mean by energy.
Okay.
So there's two There's two types of energy. There's two types of energy described in your report. Let's talk about the catabolic energy. What do you remember reading about catabolic energy?
I remember, because I always have a Greek reference in my head, that kato in Greek means down. So catabolic energy is the energy that is dragging you down. And anabolic energy, which is from ano in Greek, means up. It's the energy that is pulls you upwards. So that's what I remember.
That's exactly it. But of course, you're a coach, so it doesn't surprise me that you know these terms. So catabolic energy is a destructive, tearing down force, and it's associated with stress. When someone perceives a situation as being stressful, the brain creates catabolic hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. The purpose of these hormones is to break down the body's cells and tissues and provide energy to push through the stress. While people can work well under stress and experience short-term success, the long-term impact can be draining and impacts levels of fulfillment and satisfaction. When people experience stress, it's difficult to look past the stressor and see the bigger picture of the situation. And anabolic, like you said, is a constructive building up force. It's associated with less stress. This happens because when the brain isn't under stress, it tells the body to release anabolic hormones that are designed to optimize systems. As a result, it's easier to focus on solutions, tap into creativity, and experience a more complete and conscious view of situations. There's less judgment and fear, and people use this anabolic energy to build things. So let's do a little experiment to see how catabolic energy works.
Let's do it. I love experiments.
For a few moments, tell me about something you're really passionate about and why.
Okay, let's do this. I'm very passionate about helping families and helping other people improving their lives. I feel that that's part of why I'm here on this planet, and it gives me joy and satisfaction to make people's days better through whatever I do every day. So that's something I'm pretty passionate about, making the world a better place one day and one person at a time.
That sounds very inspirational. I want you to take two fingers, and jab yourself in the rib like this, really hard.
Okay. Oh.
So now with your fingers in your ribs, keep talking about what you're passionate about.
Well, it is quite uncomfortable, but I'm also passionate about acting as a hobby. It gives me a different perspective to be able to walk into someone else's shoes for a role that I'm doing in theater or in a movie. And how long am I going to be doing this? Because I feel like I'm bruising myself. I'm very thorough, you know.
So that's fine. You can take the fingers away.
Yes.
What was different about talking with your fingers in your ribs?
It was uncomfortable. It was taking the part of a big part of the joy, despite the fact that I still very much believe what I was saying. It was so painful that it was preventing me from actually enjoying saying what I enjoy. So it was a very unpleasant experience.
So the catabolic energy that we talked about works just like a finger in the ribs. It distracts you and it pulls your focus away from what you're trying to accomplish and towards what's painful or stressful. Neither type of energy is positive or negative, good or bad. They both serve a powerful and important purpose. The key is to know if you're experiencing them by choice because it serves you or by default because it's what you're used to. Do you have your chart in front of you?
I do not.
Is it easy for you to find it?
Sure.
I'll see if I can I'll see if I can just pull up a little screen share. Let me see if I can just share it on my end. Okay, let's see.
No, here it is. I see it.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, let me see. 1 second. So are you just seeing
I'm seeing the page that it's split in two halves. The first half, the upper half says your energetic profile from level 1 to 7. And then the lower half says your energetic stress reaction between level 1 and level 7. And
Perfect.
it says, yeah, okay.
Okay, so the energetic self-perception chart is powerful because it takes something as intangible as perception and makes it concrete. The way we see the world is based on our perception and level of consciousness. This model describes the 7 levels of energy. So the chart has 7 levels, with 1 being in the center and 7 being at the top. Levels 1 and 2 are catabolic and associated with high levels of judgment, fear, and stress. Levels 3 and 7 are anabolic. The less stress you bring to a situation, the higher you are on the scale. Think of it as a continuum where 1 is the lowest level of consciousness and 7 is the highest level of consciousness.
Okay, got it.
So each of these have a core thought, a core emotion, and an action. Every emotion and thought you experience can be associated with one of these levels, as can the behaviors connected to those thoughts and emotions. For example, if you look at a situation through the level 2 lens of conflict, you may feel anger, resentment, or frustration. When looking through a level 2 lens, your thoughts and emotions are based on the perception that conflict exists, which might lead to an argument, resistance, and force. All of these are characteristics of level 2 energy. All 7 levels of energy are present in everyone in different combinations. Everyone has a mix of different energies, and the different levels show up in different situations. By understanding the energetic self-perception chart and the 7 levels, you can become aware of how the different energies show up in yourself and in others. So your level of consciousness is determines how you read, interpret, and understand each statement in the assessment. So your particular blend of the energy levels is normal for you. There's no right or wrong. You were reading the report, and what you noticed while you were reading the report, what did you notice, and what were your reactions? What stood out for you?
When I was looking at this report?
Yeah. When you were taking the assessment, what stood out for you? What were you noticing? What were your reactions to the statements that you were asked, to the questions?
Most of the reactions were pretty automatic. Like when I was reading the statement, one or the other would actually resonate, because there was kind of 2 directions where the answers would go to, and there were very few. What I remember is there were very few that I actually had to stop and think like for a second before I answer. That's what I remember.
Okay, so this assessment, so you know, is amazingly accurate in determining a person's overall energy when people honestly respond based on their general tendencies instead of trying to figure out the right answer. So some people may respond to the statements based on how they want to be instead of how they are at that time. This could have an impact on the results if the responses were less than accurate. So the results are based on how you answered the questions. If someone has a negative reaction to an area of the report, that might validate the results for them. For example, people whose report shows that they have a great deal of conflict and anger may become very angry with the results. So looking at your results and your chart representing your energetic profile and your energetic stress reaction, your profile is at the top and your energetic stress reaction is at the bottom. The blue bars represent the amount of energy you have at each level. So as we review the chart, it's important to note that everyone's energetic profile is normal for them. It's based on your levels of consciousness and your past experiences. It's a representation of what currently is. It's not a prediction of what will be. The top chart is your energetic profile and your overall energetic makeup. The unique combination of the 7 levels of energy, which creates your typical viewpoints, perceptions, and beliefs about life. Your energetic profile determines how you approach life when things are going well for you. As you read the report, you had the opportunity to read about the 7 levels of energy, correct?
Yes.
So based on the top chart, which 2 levels have the longest bars?
Level 5 and level 3.
Beautiful. So your highest energy bar is level 5.
Yes.
So to begin, people with this type of profile see opportunity everywhere. So actually, to take it from the beginning, this ELI assessment shows that you are a highly energetic person. So the top is 7 and your highest is a 5. So you are a very anabolic person. People with this profile see opportunities everywhere and are great in recruiting others to help them. So they're not totally aware of how much influence they have on others. So you see lots of opportunities, hence your 5. Now your 3, which is the second longest bar, that shows us that you bring in a lot of rationalization. So you don't want to be judged in various environments. And maybe you allow yourself to go with the flow and just accepting things as they are because you don't want to be judged. So yes, you see a lot of opportunities, but you also do a lot of rationalizing of what you think is proper. And many times you just go with the flow and accept things as they are. You are a highly satisfied anabolic individual. You have natural compassion. You love to serve. You're creative, kind, caring, intuitive, low judgment, and you make the most of every situation. Your high level of 3 means that you tolerate more catabolic people. And even in stressful situations, you are able to tolerate them easier than others. You're productive and you're action-oriented. So you reach your goal no matter what. Many people, they may fall to a level 1. For you, I feel that everybody falls to a level 1. But because you have that high level 5, you are able to regroup and recharge and go back to your level 5. So although you do drop to level 1, you regroup really fast compared to other people. You are a person who highly rationalizes all your efforts and sacrifices from a responsibility perspective. So an analogy for this is if somebody took your eye, your frame of mind would be, I'm curious why you did this. So you would come from a place of curiosity rather than being angry, rather than fighting back. And then your level 3 will show us that you will forgive very fast. However, when you encounter a stressor, your energetic stress response is triggered. That means you leave the top chart and you approach the situation through the lens of the bottom chart. So your bottom chart is your energetic stress reaction. Your stress reaction is the most typical way that you respond when you experience stress. It drives how you react to stressful situations. The amount of time you spend in your energetic stress reaction depends on factors such as the intensity of the stressor, previous experiences, and your personal behavior tendencies. So, Andreas, what do you think about what I just told you? What is coming up for you?
No, I feel that I can understand the findings of this assessment. I feel that often I'm surprised by what people tell me about the effect that I have on their lives or on the way that they think. So it keeps, despite the fact that it comes up regularly, it always surprises me. So that's one thing. The other thing is, I do believe, if I want to be honest with myself, I do believe that I rationalize situations. I consider it probably as a coping mechanism sometimes. So I think it's, so far what I hear, it's pretty spot on. I'm looking forward to hearing the rest.
Your average resonating level of energy, your ARL, as you will see at the bottom, shows that you are 4.03. This again shows that you're a true anabolic leader. So the ESR with the 21% level 1 and 20% level 2 show me that when under stress, you may be thrown off initially, briefly, but because of the decent amounts of level 5 and level 3, you see opportunities and probably rationalize yourself even out of the stressor fairly quickly.
That definitely sounds like me.
It looks like your level 3 level of energy is actually serving you. So remember, the stress reaction shows up internally in your thoughts, in your emotions, and in your behaviors. Once you perceive that the stress has been released, you revert back to your top chart and continue to move forward from that lens. So from a level 5. So when your stressor is introduced, you do fall into level 1, as that's your biggest chart, which, to be honest, most people, if not 90% of the population, go to a level 1. But for you, it's very brief, and it's because you also have a level of 3. And your level of 3 shows that you rationalize and you have responsibility, so you quickly get out of your stressor. Many people are surprised by how much level 1 and level 2 catabolic energy they have in their charts, especially in response to stress. This makes sense because most people are not as happy and fulfilled as they could be. So your average resonating level of energy is found at the bottom, and it represents all your energy levels under normal conditions and in reaction to stressful circumstances. Studies prove that higher averages of energy are associated with higher levels of satisfaction in the areas of finances, relationships, personal development, achievement, and much more. So for you, it shows that in most areas of your life, you are satisfied. Your energetic profile. So now I go through each and every step of your ELI and what each bar means for you.
Okay.
I feel that this session usually is about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So I'll leave it at that for now. Okay. Again, everybody has all levels in them, but their default is different. So your default is level 5, and that is very, very high. You are a person who you create your life each moment. You are fearless. People know you and would describe you as being passionate about what you do, just like you said, as well as being a force. You are a highly energetic being, which shows quite clearly in this chart because you enjoy life to its fullest. Do you have any specific comments you want to make? Any questions?
Well, I mean, the question I would have is, do you see after evaluate or going through this assessment, do you see any distinctive areas where I can improve or I can work on? That would be my question.
So thanks for asking that. And I can see level. Can you tell me what you see for level 4 energy? What percentage does it say?
On the highest chart,
From a top chart, level 4.
top chart, which is my energetic profile,
Yes.
level 4 is at 14.9%.
Yes, exactly. So there's lots of opportunities for growth in level 4 for you, which has to do with taking care of others and taking care of yourself. Now, you you take care of everybody, but I feel that you neglect, and this shows us in level 4 that you neglect sometimes to take care of yourself. You prioritize yourself and others, and you feel that you need to be responsible for everything. So I would say that you need to grow more in allowing yourself to accept help and to be able to delegate more things instead of you being responsible for everything. So that's an area of improvement that is very evident in your chart, is level 4, and just taking care of yourself and being able to know when you can delegate things to others. How does that sound? What is that? Does that make sense for you? Do you have any buts? Is this false?
I can't say it's false. So no, that does make sense. I believe that over the years I have improved on the front of looking after myself as well. But it's true that when push comes to shove, I will push aside my self in order to protect or serve others. And I do take personal responsibility and ownership of all aspects of whatever I'm doing, which I can see how sometimes can be avoided from the point of view that I could have other people taking on the responsibility and not having everything on my shoulders, so to speak. So yeah, no, I appreciate that. That's a very good insight.
So because you're very passionate and because you come from a level 5 mindset that you see opportunity everywhere, you also feel that you have a lot of responsibility, and your area of growth right now would be to release some of that responsibility you feel towards everyone. So it can be an area of growth that you can work with in the future to just help you understand and feel and maybe have an action plan on how you can reduce the level of responsibility that you feel and the need to tackle everything by yourself.
That sounds good.
So
I
I
like
think, yeah, that's your chart. We can talk about potentials if you like, and next steps. But that was a very clear picture of what a true anabolic leader, like how their chart is, and that's you. And of course, everybody has opportunities for growth, and for you, it's just letting go. So Yeah, we can discuss more offline on how we can move forward with taking some of the world's weight off your shoulders.
Well, that would be nice. Thank you. This has been very interesting.
Are you still seeing the chart?
Yes, I am.
I don't see how I can. Oh, stop share. Okay, there it is.
Now I only see us.
Great. So, how did you like your debrief session with me today?
Oh, you're looking for some feedback? Well, let me get started. I have taken a few notes here for you. No, I seriously, I liked it. It was very thorough for sure. Obviously, I can tell that you've put a lot of thought behind it and that you know how to explain the context, because it's true. If you don't know the context, and if you just gave me the 5 minutes overview without giving me the context, it would be hard to understand where's this whole thing coming from. So I appreciated the details in introducing what it means and where it's coming from. So I found that very good. I like the fact that you immediately knew how to respond to my question about the growth and area of improvement, which obviously demonstrates that you've put some thought and that you knew my chart very well. So I like that too very much. And yes, overall, I feel that it's an extremely interesting exercise. And let me ask you this, just one more question. So if I do this assessment again in 3 months or in 6 months, will it be the same?
Yes. So this is my initial step with all new clients, is to see where they currently are. So then we can take steps through our coaching to make sure that we are improving on their areas of growth. So when we work together for 3 months, 6 months, whatever that container is, we would take, at the end of our time together, we would take the ELI again and see the improvements that you've made. And usually the two assessments, the first one and the last one, the second, are night and day. All of the coaching clients have seen the growth throughout the coaching period. So this is basically a test to show you exactly how you grow as a person through coaching.
Beautiful. That sounds great. All right.
You also know what to look for, and you also know how you understand now why you react this way, what happens to you when you're under stress. For you, again, because I know you, it's your chart, because if you're level 5, when you do go down to a level 1 or 2, it's very brief. And that is because you're very anabolic in nature. So your average resonating energy level is at a 5.03. That is very, very high. We see an average of around 3 for the normal population and maybe 3.5 for coaches because they're more aware. So yours is 4, which is just amazing. But that does not mean that you don't have levels of growth and improvement like you saw today through your chart and our analyzation.
That's fair enough, and I totally get it. Thank you very much.
Okay, so maybe in a couple of months you can do a follow-up and we can see your differences, and then we can talk about it then.
Let's call it a date.
We will. Okay. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.